GM guys. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a fantastic season. Because I think it's the right time to say season's greetings to our followers, our listeners, everyone that's been tuning in, everyone that is tuning in. Season's greetings to you guys. It's been fantastic, talking to you guys each and every day, basically. So, hope you guys are planning to touch grass with your loved ones, with your friends, with families, with acquaintance, because it's very important in this moment. It's not everything that is investments or trading or all that good stuff. So you need to touch grass with family, eat, drink, relax, converse, because that is what makes us humans. But let's just look at what's happening in the markets as regards our tokens of interest and every other thing in between. So, starting off with me, like I've said, I'm not personally expecting a whole lot more in the market, except yesterday when we had our clubhouse. Solomon here suggested that he, on the other hand, is expecting some form of volatility in the market, and his reason is because of low buying pressure, right? Which is a thing which I've also expressed, because I'm not expecting high buying pressure. So because of this low buying pressure, he is of the opinion that if there is any little sell pressure from Bitcoin, alts are going to crash a whole lot, which if you look at it, there's a level of truth to that, right? So if that happens, alts are going to suffer. While on the other hand, I'm suggesting that I don't expect markets to pump to go to the upside. So if you weigh these two opinions, you could probably come to your own conclusion that okay, the market might not be really favorable in terms of expecting a pump, in terms of upside this festive period. So and I made a comment which is I will not be shocked if in the coming days we see a flash pump, right? I won't really be shocked because manipulation is something that we've embraced in these markets, right? But if that happens, I personally, I'll be taking a lot of profits. I'll be taking a lot of money off the market, and I suggest that everyone do so if you get such pumps in the market. So, and if you see this morning, it's as if maybe we might get maybe some form of upside movement, whether from alt or from Bitcoin itself. But that remains to be confirmed. So I'll just let Solomon talk about the bubble maps. Let's look at what's happening today in the bubble maps.
Yeah, GM everyone. Compliments of the season. Merry Christmas in advance. Hope everyone is doing great. Please feel free to like, share, and invite anyone you want to. So we've actually been working on a list of guests we want to be bringing, and we're compiling a list for we're looking at starting that January. We're intending to do it this festive period, but most persons have already started traveling, and there are places where maybe in villages they are going to their hometown. Some are in motion, trying to put things in order based on the festive period. So the timetable is already aligning. But from January, we should be able to easily do that. Yeah, so talking about the market, today's Monday. On Mondays, we expect bump. Just like Spencer said yesterday, I did state that everyone should be careful because if we see a little dump, odds are going to crash aggressively, like aggressively. So we'll look at the charts this morning, look at what BTC is doing, what Ethereum is doing, and also a few other coins that are positioned for swinging. I'll share two other projects that are also good for swinging, and one that I just bought in on early this morning, like very early this morning, around 6 a.m. thereabout. Yeah, so on my screen here we have a bubble map. You can see we have lots of green today, lots of green. And the last one are not so much green basically. From last week Monday till date, market is still red. still red actually, so nothing to be so excited about, because if you bought last week and you were holding till today, you'll be in a loss for most projects, obviously, because of the hit that most altcoins took around Wednesday, Thursday, when BTC dumped to like 84, 85K. Most altcoins went down further. Yeah, so they haven't actually recovered, which is why I said if the market should experience another dump again today, to be brutal for altcoins. Like, to be very, very bad for altcoins, which is why if you notice, we haven't been trading lots of altcoins to accumulate, just maybe a handful we've been focusing on. So let's move to the charts. Let's then I need to share this stuff again. Just clicked the wrong stuff. All right. Hope you can see my screen. Hope you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So if we move over to the chart, this is Gigo. This trade has already passed. But yeah, there's a trade idea here. Should, in case maybe it gets back to that zone, if we see a dump, maybe it's more there about, there's actually a trade idea from Gigo here. So if it gets back to this position, it's a good position to long for Gigo. If it gets back to this position, it's a good opportunity to actually long, targeting this high. Yeah, so this is a trade idea for Gigo. This would happen if BTC dumps, and I'm expecting BTC failure to break above this resistance again. I'm expecting a dump. So looking at BTC chart, you can see it's trying to get back here. I told you guys yesterday that I'm out of the BTC trade based on my trading stop loss that took me out around 8K plus, somewhere around 400 or so. That's where it took me out. So right now, I didn't get back in. Instead, I just did a bit of scalping here, short yesterday, just very, very 15 minutes time frame, and I left the market. So I've not gotten back in. So I'm targeting this level basically to see how BTC would react if it gets to this zone, which we're gradually seeing some sell-off. But let's see what happens when it gets here. We're going to see a Christmas week bump followed by a dump. So fingers crossed. I'm actually still waiting. But if we get a rejection, the area I'll be looking to buy from is around this zone. If we get a rejection, I'm looking to buy back around this zone. Just to draw, let me just draw that in case we see that. And maybe on that day we don't have a live stream, because I don't think we'll have a live stream 24th, 25th, and 26th. I don't think so. But yeah, we might not. But if BTC should reject from that zone, I'll be looking to get back around this zone, basically. That's what I'm looking to get back into the market. Around this zone. That's what I'm looking to get back in. If it rejects, looking to get back around this zone. And targeting here, sell them by stop loss here, basically. So you want to keep your eyes on what BTC will be trying to do. And my challenge is, if it rejects here, most alts might not find it funny. LTC has not recovered, it's still looking weak, very weak. Litecoin, because it's still facing the resistance here. So if BTC should reject from there, LTC will most likely get back here. Presents a short opportunity, but what you should also know is if BTC attempts to get to 94 or 93, LTC would smash above this resistance we're having here. Like, it easily go above that resistance, very easily go above it. But failure to, we'll see it coming back down. Failure to, we'll see it coming all the way back down if it fails to go above this zone. Just to keep a conservative stop loss, and my entry around 78 points. So most likely, if BTC does like a reasonable pump, maybe 1991, LTC will most likely clear here and get to as high as here. But for it to go above this zone, the BTC would need to like do something much better than 91, 92K, most likely to 94K, before LTC to go above this zone and trigger this stop loss. So this is like an LTC trade idea. By the way, I've not entered any of these trades, just drawing them real time here. So it's an LTC trade idea, which is majorly depending on what I'm forecasting for BTC to reject from here and get back to this zone. So if that happens, all of those short opportunities, the LTC short opportunity will be great. The Gigo coin long opportunity, because to force it back to this level, that long opportunity would be good. Then some other projects we're talking about that we ask people to accumulate. If you're interested in, you can accumulate. If you want to long it, you can begin to pick your entry. Asta, I'm trying to look for Asta, because we spoke about Asta last week. Yeah, this is Asta. So we spoke about Asta last week, and it had dropped to the zone we were interested in, which is this box here. This zone, it dropped there, so we can see like it's trying to change direction and start pumping towards the upside. Like that's done a major minor structure shift to not really major. But if you draw a trend line here, you find out that it has broken that trend line and it's about to change direction. That you notice that it's basically about to change direction. That's gone above this previous high, and it's trying to start creating higher highs and higher lows. But this is still likely dependent on Bitcoin price action. Also, if you notice Avantis, which we spoke about Avantis too, you notice Avantis did the same thing. It broke structure. We did a video on how to trade this, by the way. I've not dropped that video yet. I know I did a video on this. I did a video on how to trade stocks like this. But yeah, you can see Avantis, so the same thing, broke out. It actually came back to retest an order block or a breaker block, basically, to retest the breaker block, and it's about to go towards the upside. So it's about to start printing higher highs, higher lows gradually. So if Bitcoin holds its level till January, then you can most likely call this low for most of these altcoins, especially like the exchange tokens, DEXs. We told you guys that these DEXs, they're actually profitable. So they're actually a good buy at these prices. We're saying that when we're saying that Avantis was still around this price, and we're saying that like they are really at a very, very good price. They're a good investment, especially when you look at how much they've dumped. Most of them have dumped over 90%, some 95%. Spoke about that last week. So for those that started accumulating from the day we're talking about it, you find out that you actually started getting it at a very, very good price, like really, really good price. And so they've done an amazing correction. Anybody waiting for further correction, that person is just being too greedy, sincerely speaking. Like these projects have corrected back to listing price. Like, they ran all the way up, did insane pump. See the Avantis listed 21 cents or 19 cents, pump to 2 point something dollars, over 10x, and it has dumped back, like it literally dumped back to 22 cents. Okay, so it got back to entry, which was an amazing price for anybody to jump back in, and targets just $1. If you target $1, that's 400%. Yeah, same thing, Asta, but Asta didn't correct as much as Avantis, though. Didn't correct that much. But yeah, Asta also dumped back to like listing price on major centralized exchanges. Apex too. I think Apex should be at 40 cents, thereabout. So there's actually some good projects that have dumped. Q has dumped majorly because of Avalanche dump. That's why Q dumped like really, really, really bad. This was the October dump that hit by SL Q. This was far back October, but hit by SL Q. But yeah, it had dumped back to clear out that whole week we saw in that month of October. That we saw that flash dump, and it has bottomed out. If you would use that word, it has actually. So what's left side is for it to start going towards the upside. So if you look at most other projects, it's a similar chart. You see even Bayou, but even Bayou, like you see, like a constant dump. So there are so many coins that have actually dumped aggressively, like so many. So this is the time to start like picking out some of these projects and gradually accumulating them. Or if you want to trade them via features, this is actually like the best time to start doing that. But you don't just go in AP in one direction long alone. No, you have to also watch what BTC is doing, because BTC will decide where the markets would head to. If BTC mistakenly dumps back to this price, to be brutal, 80K, to really, really be brutal for most altcoins. So these are like some things you want to basically look at. Yeah, so I said I was going to share a project that I'm swinging. Let me open CoinGecko briefly, because it's on CoinGecko. Just briefly, let me open it. A project that I'm recently swinging. So most times before I pick these projects, I check their price action and I check the chart to see how much they've corrected and if they are in the range where I want to actually start swinging it. If they are not, I skip it. It's not that difficult. It's not something that's rocket science. So one of the projects is River. I don't know if you can see my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your
You
screen.
can see my screen, right? All right. So one of the projects is River. If you guys remember, River ran like crazy to above $10. Started from below $2, I think. Now it dumped to about 3 point something, though I accumulated around 4 point something dollar. That's what I accumulated yesterday. So the aim is just to swing it, basically. Like there's no two ways about it. I'm not buying it to hold long term. No, it's just to swing. I'm just swinging 30% and I'm out. I'm not trying to do 100% or even 50. No, just 20-30%. That's what I'm doing. About. And it's because of it's quite volatile and it has corrected a lot. The other is Fox, and Fox also dumped like crazy, Fox really, really dumped like crazy. So that is another project that I'm also swinging. Let me see if I can open the chat on CoinGecko terminal. Okay, so still loading. So if you guys check, Fox bumped like crazy early last week, I think, or week before last. Fox bumped almost $50. And that's why I always say, if you guys remember, I told you guys that by the time I started observing Fox, it was almost at $8. So I just left it. I missed that. Well, I still had it on my radar, waiting for a proper correction, which is something we've always said that once this project pump, which they would always pump, once they pump, they will dump. Like it's inevitable. They will always dump. If you look at the chart here, see how high Fox was as at December 14th, got almost $50. Now imagine the dump, imagine the huge sell-off, which is why we always talk about taking profit. Imagine the huge sell-off. So imagine someone that even got in at maybe $14 on the 2nd of December and the person saw about 300% and refused to take profit. The person is at a loss now if the person refused to sell, which is why we always talk of taking out your capital. If it does maybe 100% or 50%, take out your capital. You can leave the profit. If you decide to write it all the way to $50 and write it back all the way to $5, the pain won't be that much. You might never really feel any significant pain because it's the profit, it's not your capital. Yeah, you might just look at it that, oh, you would have made more, but you got greedy, or maybe you didn't pay attention. Yeah, that's just the thing. But your capital would be safe because you want to ensure that in the game of trading or investing, what is most important is your capital. As long as you can preserve your capital, there will always be another coin to buy. There will always be another coin to flip. There will always be another coin to long. Like it's just fact. Which is why even when we're doing futures trading, we always say if the trade moves towards your direction, most likely gets to TP1. The least you should do is just move your stop loss to your entry. If you don't want to adjust it to protect some profits, move it to your entry. So that should there be any negative news that is beyond our control, because you have no idea what is happening. You can't control fundamental analysis. You definitely can't. Anything can happen. Any news of war, president giving any speech, anything is possible. A hack, anything basically, or one of the board of directors stepping down, or one of their partnerships, their major partnerships going sideways. Anything is possible basically. So you want to just ensure that you move your SL to your entry, just so that if the worst happens that you did not predict, you just get out of the trade without making any profit and securing your capital. If you practice that frequently, you'll find out that overall you would rarely run into losses, like very rarely run into losses overall. Yes, you might not maximize profits. You might not. Maybe when you should have made 500%, you might just end up making 60% or 100%. Yes, true. Might not maximize profit, but you will see that you have like a more consistent, stable growth because of your risk management is extremely aggressive. So it's very important that you practice these stuff. I'm still checking for these folks. I don't know why it's not loading on CoinGecko terminal too. I have no reason why it's not loading. I wanted to show you guys my entry on CoinGecko terminal. Yeah, well, it's actually not loading. I don't know if it's on Lighter Exchange. Let me see if it's on Lighter, because I have Lighter opened here. Let me just search it out briefly. Well, I don't think Lighter they've listed it. No. So Lighter they haven't listed it on Lighter. If not, they have not listed it here. CoinGecko terminal is not loading, so I don't know why. But yeah, so these are like the major projects I wanted to show you guys. So it's now left for you to pick your entry point, ensure you're buying in at support, not at not getting in at resistance. You want to make sure you're buying in at support, which is why for this Fox I needed to show you guys so that you see the support basically. But yeah, that's all from my end. So I don't know if there are any questions. We can take the questions before we call it a day. So let's look at some questions. Which asset is this? Okay, I don't know which of the assets you're referring to. Basically, I don't know which of the asset. Does Backpack actually? No. Backpack doesn't have a trailing stop loss feature. They don't have that. They don't have that basically. Hi, what do you say BTC will do? Okay, let me just briefly share one last time, after which we're calling it a day. So here's the BTC charts switching to, if we look at the daily candles, if we switch to daily, you see that BTC has been printing green candles since Friday. It's been green. Recall we said it's that Friday we didn't see the dump that we're expecting, so Friday wasn't a red as usual. It wasn't. But you can see it's been green Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today, Monday, it's green. And you can see where we have like a major resistance where we always expect sell-offs for the past 1 week. We still have another one.
Your chart is not actually live. We're looking at the Lighter Exchange.
Oh, okay. Is it live now?
Yes, we can say it.
Is it live now? Okay, so if you notice, BTC has been printing green candles since Friday. Yeah, since Friday it's been green. So today is like the 4th consecutive green candle that we're seeing, even if today's candle hasn't closed. But yeah, you can see we had this resistance here that we had already drew from like a week ago. And we have another up here. We have another one up here. This is the major point BTC has been unable to go above for almost 3 weeks or thereabouts now. About 3 weeks, we've been unable to go past 94,600. Simply put, we've been unable to close above this purple line that we drew. It's been rejected. So we have the first resistance point here. We have this, which is where we're seeing some rejection. If hopefully we can go above this, to be good for altcoins. Most altcoins would actually use that opportunity to like recover most of them will try to recover, especially LTC, Litecoin. Litecoin most likely go above 79 or thereabout. But if BTC just flashes above this point and closes below and goes all the way back down to here that we're expecting to catch a trade, that will put out for most altcoins, and that would obviously trigger our Litecoin shorts. To trigger this Litecoin shorts that we actually to just come up and trigger it. Yet if BTC does that flash bomb, then after which followed by a dump to trigger this trade. So our expectation for BTC right now, nothing is clear. But what we're doing is we're observing to see if it's going to break above or if it's going to reject. That's what we're waiting for. But we've said that January, yes, January, we're expecting a bump by January. That's what we're expecting, a bump by January. Today, Monday, we don't know. We're waiting to see. We're not the ones controlling the chart. Let's see if it will break above. But if it doesn't and it rejects, this is where we're wishing to catch it. So that's what we said about BTC, basically. So let me see, is there any other question? Yeah, my screen has changed now. Screen has changed, basically. So we're not trying to force any trade. We're not longing anything. There's no active trade now. If anybody is still on any trade, it will be maybe people that are still on this Bitcoin trade. Personally, I have exited this trade, personally, based on trading stop loss. So for those that are still on this BTC trade, it's almost at full TP, almost. Yeah, but personally, I am out of this BTC trade. And if you recall, we have been able to swing this trade 3 times. We've swung it 3 times, exiting, getting back in, exit, get back in, and this 3rd time, I'm out. So except for those that are still holding it here, one last chart we didn't look at is the Ethereum. So Ethereum is another coin that we're long, but I've exited the Ethereum trade too. So if you notice, the Ethereum one is almost at full TP. So for those that did not exit, I took me out of the trade somewhere around here, based on my trading stop loss around, I think, Saturday or Friday, even in one of them. That's when it took me out. I think Saturday, somewhere around here. So the Ethereum trade, for those that did not set any of that, if you didn't, you're still going towards full TP. Yeah, so if BTC misbehaves and forces Ethereum down, where I'll be looking to catch this Ethereum trade, let me just draw that too. This stays valid as long as BTC does not go below 85K, 85,500 or thereabout. So this is where I'll be looking to catch Ethereum trade. If BTC fails and dumps, I'll be looking to catch another long on Ethereum around this level. Around this level, that's where I'll be looking to catch another long on Ethereum. Provided BTC does not dump below, it doesn't dump below 85K. Provided it doesn't dump below 85K, because if it goes below 85K, most likely to smash below all of this points. So if that holds, then I expect the Ethereum trade to trigger and to also hold. And also, if we don't see like an aggressive, that 1 hour dump where you just see a 1 hour candle, just one straight candle going all the way down, that is most likely a liquidation event that you might see something like this. There's Ethereum here. You might see something like, although Ethereum is strong, you might not see it on Ethereum, but you see it on like other weaker alts. You might see something where a candle just goes all the way down to this point and immediately goes above. That might be like a liquidation event. So which is why I'm abstaining from alts that don't have good volume. Yet I'm abstaining from those ones, or that don't have solid support levels. Yeah, because they might just go down, take you out of the trade, hit your stop loss, and immediately get back up. Yeah, so that's all talking about the chart today. That's all from us. So if you have any questions, you can drop the questions. We've spent over 30 minutes. spent about 30 minutes already. So, Space Nat, do you have something you want to share before we call it a day?
Well, I'm just noticing that Chain of Alliance, that's Alliance Games, I think they put liquidity from their COA WBMB liquidity pool.
Yeah, they removed the liquidity because it was a good opportunity for arbitrage and people were utilizing it a lot. So they had to pull liquidity from there. There was a huge discrepancy between price on MXC and PancakeSwap, like very huge discrepancy. So they just had to pull liquidity from there.
That's not a good strategy, to be honest. Why would they do that? So because if they are delisted on MXC, what then happens?
They provide liquidity back on PancakeSwap.
No, that's messed up.
They were losing money. They were losing money because people were easily buying on PancakeSwap, depositing on MXC and selling it.
Did they outrightly say that was the reason why they put the liquidity?
Most times they won't say it. Most times they will not say it.
That means if the thing is, there are some things that you see and then you just know that this team is not playing fair, or is doing something manipulative behind the scene. Because for them to do that, that means they are paying for a certain service on MXC, maybe market making service on MXC, because that would explain how what's it called, COA would just, without any major news, pump 300% one afternoon, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because them doing that on an exchange, they can't really. It will cost them a little bit more to do that on a DEX. So if they're doing it on exchange, that arbitrage opportunity on a DEX is now open to almost everybody. Because if I see that MXC has pumped like let's say 30%, but DEX hasn't moved yet, I can withdraw from DEX, move it to MXC, and then maybe before it arrives, it has even pumped more on MXC. It's going to be. I just noticed it. I'm like, no, this is not it at all.
Yeah. So the thing here is, it's easier to pump coins on exchanges using order book system, but it's difficult to pump coins via swap systems. You get where you're swapping, but it's very easy to pump via order book, and it takes less liquidity to pump via order book. But if you want to do it via swap, via liquidity pools, it's very, very difficult. It's not that easy. You need no one to be selling, and you need more persons to like be buying. But for order book system, you just need to ensure that you're setting higher and higher bids. You get that. That's just, you're just setting higher and higher bids. And most times they are the ones that can even pump it. They are setting higher bids and buying off those higher bids. I don't know if you get. They're setting higher bids and they are buying off the higher bids. Then when other people start coming in, they might start exiting gradually. So it's quite easier to pump coins on
that's it for
order book system. Yeah, so thanks guys, and don't forget, if you have any questions, you can always drop the questions. And on our TG channel, if you're not part of it, you can actually join the Telegram channel where we drop some other informations there. Yeah, so see you guys tomorrow. We'll still have a live stream tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow, same time, by 10 in the morning. Have a lovely Christmas period, guys, and bye-bye.
All right, guys. Bye.